Hey, what's up everyone, TNRI here. Our today's guest is Reinder Lubbers. He's a known investor, entrepreneur, cricket player, former Olympic rower, a family man, and much more. His current venture is No Such Ventures, where he with the team invests 2 to 8 million euros in ambitious companies. Let's hear his story.
Let's start with your origins. Your dad was a captain of the cricket team, Dutch cricket team.
I played it my entire youth because my dad was sort of, I say, the Johan Cruyff of Dutch cricket. Mm-hmm. But actually, my father is a bit of a killer. Like, such one of the hardest workers I know. So sometimes when I say cricket, people think, it's like polo or whatever, and it was the exact opposite. But a lovely sport. Lovely sport. It's totally different than, for instance, rowing.
Yeah, because you played pretty well, but then you started studying in university in Groningen.
Yeah.
And then you started doing rowing as well.
Yeah. So what's actually funny, so I went to study in Groningen because I heard it's an amazing student city. I'm all about enjoying life. So I thought, super choice. And maybe later I'll go to the more serious, Randstad, Amsterdam and whatnot. So Groningen, I enjoyed very much. And the funny thing, when I entered Groningen, first thing we had was free drinks from the study organization in sort of a Groningen, farm somewhere with lots of students. And then after drinking many beers, a blonde girl walked up to me and said, "You should be rowing." Mm-hmm. And as a kid, I had done nearly all the sports, also soccer and judo, tennis or whatever. And then she said, "Well, you should be rowing." And I thought, well, why not? And also I like trying new things. So then I started rowing, and I had talent for it. And 4.5 years later, I was at Beijing Olympic Games 2008, so that was a super cool ride, but also pretty demanding. It's one of the heaviest sports out there in terms of how much you need to train, how much physical pain you need to endure during the races. But hey, it's a good test to see whether you can, how strong-willed you are.
But did you expect to actually get good in it? Because you were already good in cricket, and it's a different sport completely. So you probably started just for fun, or you were like, I'm gonna be the best in it?
No, it's a good point. I started for fun. I also liked the team aspect of it. You have some rowers that rather row alone. I always want to row in bigger boats with the 4 or 8. But the cool thing is that it's one of the most crazy team sports out there, because let's say the 8 in which I rowed at the games. You've got this sort of a bucket, you put in 8 morons or different idiots and a small guy or girl steering the boat, and then one formula, one outcome, one speed. So everything influences it. So let's say your sleep, or what you have for breakfast, or, that's not it, but the beer. Mm-hmm. I would be concerned 100% about everything you do, because you determine my result 100%. That's different than nearly all other team sports. And only after like a couple of months, I noticed that, hey, my starting level is pretty high. Let's see where I can take this. And then maybe after 1 year, I thought, I think I should be able to row for Netherlands and then row for the games. So that quickly became my goal, which obviously people said, yeah, sure. And then I thought, well, let's see.
Are you then like an overachiever then, or you just saw you were good in it and you kind of believed that you can go further?
I say it's difficult for me to do things let's go to a festival, I love it. But I say it, there's one, for me I say it, there's one clutch in the gearbox, or one sort of where I want to be, and that's the one that goes fastest. So let's say already after my first year, before others thought, I was like, okay, I want to go to Olympic Games. And also another, it's a bad story. We're talking cricket, and we all know you have these soccer management games online, right? Whereby you manage a team, you want to become champion, millions play it. there's also the variety of that in cricket. And so I started playing that because of my friends, but I started playing it later, so you slot in below. And I think already I was working here, M&A, churning out many hours at the Zuidas merger and acquisitions, so you're running fast for your clients who got you on speed dial, you need to sprint. But already then I was like, oh, I like this game, I want to be the best. So I was waking up at night to buy players, in this virtual game, setting my alarm clock, and then even at some stage, so I was making my way up in the global rankings. Just before I was reaching the top, I was like, shit, I need to quit this shit, this is not good. But then I knew at that moment I could be the best of everybody. So I didn't stop until I became number one, and the day after I threw away my login and sold all my players and see you buy. So I just needed to persist, and then I was done.
And I guess that's also the reason why you also started your masters then as well, to kind of also education-wise to go further.
Yeah, I think in the Netherlands that's sort of a safe choice because it takes you 1 year, and then everyone knows, oh yeah, you're at least in your first maybe 1 to 2 jobs, right? You're, let's say it's, you've got this master level. Okay, that's better not. So that was for me. I say by default, I did it. But also in Groningen, the more fun you have in Student City, the less prepared you are for your actual first job. So I didn't really know that well what I wanted to do when I finished up studies, which in the end became investing, because I like strategy and I like playing with numbers. That comes nice in together with investing. And the funny thing is, maybe I was right somewhere, because I'm doing the same thing now. Investing startup skills only through my own company, so I also feel like I'm an entrepreneur, or I am an entrepreneur. But then my first job, I did it in sort of private equity, in which you invest in bigger, a bit more boring companies. So I love that, but I knew it wasn't I wasn't going to do it for the rest of my life. So my second job, I did the mergers and acquisitions, or corporate finance, whereby the bad movies are often made about them, whereby you're always suited up. It matters what watch you're wearing, your suit. If you wear a belt, you're an idiot because you didn't pay for a custom-made suit. And there I was thinking, shouldn't I do CFA? Shouldn't I do GMAT just to show that I'm sort of better? Or should I go to London, whereby people have that a bit higher than Amsterdam, but then you talk with people there and they say you just trade your life for a bit more cash, but you work non-stop. I was like, I do want to enjoy life, I want to go all out, but is that what I want? And camp was just very enjoyable also.
But you still got back to the cricket, even after the whole rowing, being at the Olympics and everything. Did you feel like you achieved everything you could from rowing, and then that's why you switched to cricket, or what was the reason?
When I was at the games, Olympic Games in Beijing, I was 23, and people thought I was the youngest of our team in age and also rowing experience. So at first people thought or told me like, hey Reinder, focus on London 2012. And then I thought, F you focus on London. I'm going to Beijing, and I would have been better in London, would have been 27, but you can still become a little bit stronger, more experienced for sure. But rowing is so demanding. It's like cycling or running. You can't half-ass it by any means, because you just need to be physically fittest of the world. So I tried to study next to it, and I literally fell asleep once in my book. I just couldn't do it. And also, picture that you've got 16 big boys for 8 spots in this boat of 8. So you train twice a day, and every training you're trying to score points and show that you're the man. So all excess energy you have, you put it in making the boat go faster, and the rest. So when I only noticed half a year after the games, close to half a year, that my fire was gone. First I thought, well, cool, and maybe go to London, let's see. But then again, rowing is painful, and I noticed, I don't want to do this for another 4 years, because also I like as I said, if you come up with a new idea, I'll probably say yes, because I like doing new things. So let's say immediately when I stopped rowing, I took up mixed martial arts. Just, I was watching movies, I thought, how cool is this? Because I had a friend of mine do it. I thought, it is actually sport, it's not barbaric stuff. Sort of free fights, but it's basically just, wrestling, judo, kickboxing, only training. I thought if I wanted to do a match at some stage, but if you get a head kick, you lose some IQ. It's not the best idea, right? Best thing to do. But yeah, I like doing it, and then I became, president of the Dutch Student Rowing Federation, and did many other things. Also finished my study eventually. So now for me that was a clear choice. And then I thought at some stage, hey, actually, let's play a bit more cricket. It's a bit more chill. I can do that.
Because you had some pressure in the rowing team.
Yeah.
And what made you not develop this whole imposter syndrome?
I think one of the first proper job interviews I had was with smart people, and they asked me, can you draw out your confidence over time in your life, sort of your confidence? It's a pretty bizarre question which you can't prepare, but it's a funny one. And you start drawing, it goes up a little bit or whatever, and then you think, one, it helps if you've got confidence in yourself, and two, if you can be, a little bit stoic, whereby you think, let's relax, I can focus on what I can. So I think that was also passed to me genetically, or by, how my parents and also a bit my father raised me, that, you just focus on what you can do. But that, that is ruthless. Professional, that environment I was in, not bad, but just ruthless. Let's say if the coach thought he needed to switch you, he would do it the same day. So you would see yourself go from Olympic hopeful, or you think you go to Olympic Games, to reserve, and there would be no, here, when people get ditched in their jobs, they first want to have 2, 3, warnings, and no, you only gave me that long, yada yada. There's just on the spot, and because everything is about results, and it teaches you many things, how you are under pressure yourself, under real pressure, because we can get to know each other by drinking beer, but if we now have to sprint for 20 minutes straight, maybe really run until it hurts and then keep running, then I maybe get to know you a little bit better. So you get to know yourself better, you get to know others better. It's as I said, the ultimate team sport. Not only that, we're tied to the same result 100%, but also how do we cope under indeed pressure and physical pain. Yeah, that's it makes you appreciate certain qualities in people, where they can be stoic, relaxed, work hard, endure pain, and which people don't, and complain and point at others and yada yada, and you just don't want to surround yourself with those people.
And then you moved back to cricket, and again did pretty well.
Yeah, we became national champions in 2011, and with my 10-year younger brother, we were in the same team, and that was amazing. That was he was 17, huge talent, and it was cool.
You being like such a superstar in cricket and like different sports, what attracted you to the whole investment banking and all that? Suited up guys?
Yeah. I still know sort of when I was suited up, how I was. I said when one of our managing directors looked at my suit and made a couple comments, and then I thought I looked cool in the suit and had a cool suit, and then he pointed out a couple of things. I thought, shit, there's levels to this, and it's super. It's just a funny story. It's a joke, but you are a bit in your bubble there, in the financial district or financial M&A world. But it can be a lovely bubble, because for people like me, it's sort of a new arena whereby you can go all out, you can get good results, because people trust you with selling their company, and it's a live event for them. It's super important. So everything needs to be in order, needs to be done fast. So that I really enjoyed, and that's also the job I did longest. not that long, a bit over 3 years. Let's say it. Back then I was a job hopper, and maybe I still am. But when I did it, I also noticed like, hey, you know, I like my bosses, but I'm not jealous of them. I don't want to do this rest of my life. Well, at some stages it becomes repetitive. And I had a former colleague of mine, a former intern, he went to a venture capital firm and he loved it, and he came back, he said, Reinder, this would suit you very well. And I had some friends going into startups and scale-ups, a bit like you, being super enthusiastic. So I thought, that has to be my next move, like, or join a startup scale-up, or to join a venture firm. And then I went to join a Dutch venture firm, and there I noticed I absolutely love venture capital, but if you think something can be done better and you think you can do it better yourself, then there's only one thing you can do, right? And try to do it better yourself, to stop talking and start acting. And that became, in short, House Ventures.
But before that, you still had another startup that you co-founded, the smart TV apps.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny story. So I was at this Dutch venture firm, and I knew, hey, at some stage I want to, I like venture capital, what I do here, but or I start my own venture firm, or I'm going to work at a startup scale-up. And then the two things came sort of together at the same time. So I already knew management of indeed video software company called 24i. I knew them, and they were raising money, and actually asked me at some stage, hey, couldn't you just come up with the money needed for a round? So then I thought, boom, this is the moment for me to start Nose Ventures. But then a bit later in the process, they also asked me, like, hey, do you want to work here? Do you want to become COO and the third step to the director next to them? And then I thought, well, that's, at first I said thinking fast, thinking slow. First I thought, thanks for the compliment, guys, but no, I founded Nose Ventures and I want to, kick ass with that one. And then the next morning, actually, I rang them and said, yeah, let's do it, because just a good feel, like, this is cool to do. And I thought, Nose Ventures with just one investment, now I can also actually do it and not, I said, neglect Nose Ventures. So then I said I experienced a wild ride, because the company grew very fast. We did 2 acquisitions, we did a sort of a financing round in parallel to the entire company being bought out. So we grew from 75 to 150 people. I managed sort of about half of the company, and then the entire company got sold for a good price, on which the founders were happy, we were happy, and there I noticed sort of the healthy chaos that exists at startup scales. But I actually absolutely love that. Like, that's why I also see Nose Ventures as a startup, and absolutely love it.
Yeah, because you really really standing out among the other VCs.
Well, it's funny that venture capital is a bit of a younger industry, younger than other investment industries. So you notice that the first people that go there, credit to them, but often they come from more traditional industries like private equity, and then sometimes they bring their values also along with them, while the type of companies they're investing are way different. They're fast-moving companies instead of these stable companies. They're investing for minority stakes, so you're more of a supporter and helping instead of having the majority of the company, and I would be sort of your boss. I would behave a bit differently. So, where they're different, they act indeed as if they're the boss, often as if they know a bit better than the entrepreneur, as if what they're doing is easy and but he or she is not doing well enough. The investment professionals from their own team need to work X amount of years before they can actually invest, before they actually get the upside, where the financial rewards are from a firm. They're like, first mate, prove yourself, 6, 8, 10 years, and then you can become partner. and some other things. And then it's nice to try to do it a bit different way. So here, everyone that's not an intern, invests, even if you're a first year investor. That's what we love. We always, try to be super conscious that, we're generalists. So hard for us to tell the entrepreneur that they should do better. We should, bring in experts from our own network who know way more than us on certain topics. And maybe lastly, all investors are as a fund. It's a bit like this, all the money together, and this will suit all companies. While we're like, this suits this company and this suits that company. So we raise it. We're structured per company, not per fund. And it's just nice to try and do it in a different and better way. What I like now is, we exist a bit over 3 years. We've done 9 investments, and we've got a big group of, let's say, angel investors that invest with us. That grew from now to sort of around 100. So I would love it in 5 years if we would have 500 or more investors all across the world. And also 2 of our 9 investments are abroad, not in the Netherlands. If we just become way bigger, so that every company that onboards us has got a huge network from investors, from other portfolio companies, and so that's one. I think that's, our product would then be best to the companies and also our investors. They can choose from more and cool companies. But especially I want us to be on the innovative forefront always. So we also campaign, we want to invest in common shares, like same shares as the founder. We think it makes sense on multiple levels, and not invest in preferred shares, which most VCs do. So I think always on those aspects, I think we will and we should. I say be, new and then better thought out. It's poor English, but I hope you understand what I mean.
But what does it take to start your own venture fund?
The short answer is I found it because I saw a gap. I thought I saw how it could be done better, but I couldn't have seen it without my other experiences at the venture fund, but also having done M&A and private equity, that I knew, hey, but back there we did ABC way better than all venture capitalists do. So for me, I benefit tremendously from all the different experiences, also being an entrepreneur myself, or having been at that software company. So I'd say if I could do it again, I would again, just sort of gain different experiences. And then actually at that moment, that was just when I was at a Dutch venture firm, where I thought, hey, I actually think I know how this could be done better based on my experiences, and then let's do it. And then to say let's do it is super easy. The first sale is always the hardest, right? For every startup. I mean, who are you? You're young, have no track record yet. But that's where then you need to show you're good in sales, and then building company, getting people to follow you, to trust in you. That's you make it work or not. And I think now we've made the first steps work. It's we've got a very good platform to keep expanding on that, because the first bits were the hardest.
Mm-hmm. You're saying that, of course, the team is really important to get you to where you want to be in 5-10 years. How are you building the whole culture?
For instance, I like it if people on the work floor are themselves, like 100%. When I worked at when I did M&A, I sometimes noticed that, or this little story I have, that I didn't like the coffee at the floor we had. So I went out Starbucks, because I love filter coffee. Starbucks like 4 or 5 euros, or they charge. And we had a reasonably big department, I'd say 30-40 people, and I just asked everyone who wants something from Starbucks. I'm going. So I think nearly every day I got some coffee for 6, 8, 10 people. So if you do it every day, you are paying something, and I did it every day. I wasn't gonna wait till others went. And then so I thought, I like to see my colleagues as friends. That's my ideal. That I like you and trust you as a person. And then the other day I got from a colleague of mine sitting just across from me, like this super formal email with just a question about a project. Only pointed at me. There was also no trap of me seeing people or whatever, but super formal. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, if you would ask me without the email, you would say way different, but you have the feeling you need to be formal something, or that professionally you need to be someone else. And I just like it the other way, whereby Raoul, you just also met her again, Sophie and others, and they are just completely themselves, and also are very okay in showing weaknesses or quirky stuff. So that's what I like here. It's always been said indeed about culture that you need to be able to spend time at the airport with someone else, but I said for us it's just so important that you've got something original or special about yourself, or that you are comfortable being yourself. Maybe that's the best one, and showing yourself to others, because also we're in more and more, I think we're in a human business, or actually you can do a lot of things online, but actually you need to, best business is being done by connecting with people. Entrepreneurs, if they want to gang with us, they better trust us, because we're there for a couple of years. So it's just so important that you care about other people, you are yourself, and so if you hire all people that understand that that's important, or find it important themselves, then they'll also hire people that are of the same cloth.
And don't you think there's like a negative effect on the performance overall when the relations are just too strong, or is it the other way around for you?
So it's a good point if you become afraid to give each other honest feedback, then it could inhibit sort of personal development or just company operations, because you're afraid to tell me, or vice versa, what we should do differently. So I think there's a point to that, but also then it's also maybe me from the top being vulnerable and saying I messed up plenty of times, so that they know you don't have to act tough, and that's also maybe again sort of, if you're, in my experience, if you're pretty okay on confidence, on self-confidence, then you don't mind feedback that much. I know when I was younger, I think before rowing, I didn't really like losing games, or I really wanted to prove myself, really wanted to. Maybe also because my father was all about results, like no bullshit, never, no stories, results. But then when I had done so, suddenly you relax a bit more, and all feedback is, it's not, I wasn't a different person, but it helps that I am who I am, and nothing to be ashamed about. And if you can tell me something which makes me better, that's amazing. So please do tell me.
Having so many things in your life, of course, you have a family, you have no such, you still do some sports and things like that. How do you balance everything in life?
Sometimes I like the saying, sort of, on determining what you want to do and not. Sort of, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So I just, it's also easy, if you can choose from 5 things to do, automatically you're going to say no to or I say it, quite a few of them. I pretty clearly know what I want to do and where I want to go to. So if I know that, then I know what things I don't, want, and they are always based, I think, a bit on where I want to go, with no such or own goals, and just that I want to have fun and enjoy life. So if things don't tick one of those, then I'm not going to do it. But it's also, obviously there's some drive or ambition in me. Otherwise, indeed, I have a bit of a busy life. Like my friends say, you're always busy, or try and get a hold of you. But that's true. Like I want to kick some serious ass. That sounds a bit, American or whatever, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to wait for work. I'm going to create it, and I need to think of the bold moves we need to do with no such, and the big levers we can switch to make things happen. But I also know if I if I don't work out, I feel bad or worse. Physically, energy goes down. So I need to work out. I want to spend some time with the family, but it depends. Sometimes, doing cool things with the kids is better than being at home. I say it, whereby you're distracted with other things, then you're doing two things not very well.
Do you stress much, or if you do, like, how do you cope with it?
So I do try to be reasonably stoic, but that's also, I think you learn it a little bit from rowing also, like nothing matters but the next stroke, literally nothing, and you're a fool if you think it does. Maybe, stressy things are if I want to move in 5th gear and people who I'm depending on are in 3rd gear, and then I have two voices in my head. One wants to be nice with people, because I enjoy that, I enjoy big groups, and the other one is super ambitious and red, saying, give me your elevator pitch and get the hell out of here. So that's sometimes maybe where I, within, let's say, longer meetings or something a bit, but it's just so lovely that I am my own boss. It's amazing. I mean, maybe you guys, I hope you have the feeling as well, but it's, compared to me being employed, like I'm never going back, never ever, unless Elon Musk calls me.
Book to recommend and advice to, like, young people, perhaps, if you want to do the same things as you do.
Book to recommend? There's so many. I might want to mention two. Then, Man's Search for Meaning of Viktor Frankl. That's just amazing. A really good book. Also good that it's not super huge. And I love the, maybe a bit of a classic one, but the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. The title can be corny, if you will, but it's just such a good book. Many examples where I think this is actually pretty good stuff. I need to look at life a bit through different lens. When I was younger, I was talking. This sounds really bad now. I was talking a bit more about myself, but here I am talking about myself. But you asked me to, so don't blame me. But in talks, which wasn't good. So that would be the second book. Advice for younger people. I say it. My network is so effective for me, and I don't mean people think networking is trying to put up this that you are this type of person and at drinks or whatever and and ask people for favors, but it's not that. It's, for instance, suppose you are contemplating working in industry X, then go through your LinkedIn and make sure that you talk with 2 or 3 people or have coffee, from that industry. So that you learn, is the industry pretty cool, or I didn't know this about the industry, or sub-segments you can choose from, or maybe one of those 3 works at a great company will gift you or hook you up with a job or point you to a job. And that's what I noticed if I look at my life, the different experience I gained, the different people I spoke with that sort of, that guided me. So I ask for help quite a bit, quite often. Help sounds like I'm drowning, but let's say advice. I've done that and still do it many times. So that's how you say it. What my advice would be if I would also start things over, I would have coffees with a bunch of people who I think are interesting and think of, hey, would I actually want to be that person later on, or could this be cool? Instead of just applying to a random job, someone points you and then start working there, and I say just being going with the flow. The amount of interesting people we or then I sometimes get in touch with by just asking, it's like it's cool. It's sometimes in the Netherlands we're a bit too too
conservative.
Yeah, conservative. Yeah, good one. Thanks. Like that we don't dare to ask. We think who are we, and in America they do it constantly. So that gives huge opportunity here, because the answer rates to emails or LinkedIn messages are way higher here. So so just go for it.
And do you have like some quote you just live by?
If you ask my team, they say I'm the man of the bad quotes. Like if someone wishes me good luck for a meeting, like success, and I say that is a choice. Like don't hit me with it. Obviously, because I also like hitting them with it. So maybe I should say that one. But I would also like, sort of, if it is to be, it is up to me. Like, don't ever point to others or complain. You need to do it yourself. Take responsibility and kick some ass and enjoy.
Thanks for tuning in. More episodes are on the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, TNRI out.